Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, guys. Yeah, a bit rushed again today, quite a bit. I'm third action day. I'm rushed and twiddling my thumbs and watching the paint dry. Hey, let's get a few more seconds and then we can start. Gives a bit. One convenience about the 4:30 opening, if you're dealing with CFDs, gives us a chance to go over it in the trading room, especially new guys who didn't trade a share before, because there are slight differences. Not great brain straight. It's not going to hit the old brain too tough. It's not a, we say it's not that incredibly complicated. There are slight little differences. Now, remember, the what you call it, the commission on it is 0.4% of exposure. So it's virtually, it's there, but it's virtually irrelevant. So you don't have to worry too much. Take that into account. So we'll do the position sizing just now to have an idea of it. It gives you a few minutes as well. It's 4 o'clock. Great. Gives me a few. Great to see you again, Mary. Nice to have Maria, I should say. Nice to have you back. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. As normal, you can post on the chat line or unmute if you want. It's very important to remember, I say every time. So I'll let these guys in to interact the forum. Just remind me later on if I forget, if you want the DXY or the economic calendar or the 10-year yields, the link posted on the live chat, just remind me later on. I get carried away chatting about stuff. Okay, here to clarify, it's not to train, that's the trading classes. It's for strategies, discussing trades, number one, and then clarification, quiet periods. There's not a heck of a lot going on. Okay, right, good stuff. Okay, we'll just go through a couple of trades we had earlier on, see how they're doing. We got in this GBP CHF at 1145. Now it's 20 pips in profit. So just let it in, just let Adele in. There we are. Get the Adele people in. Good stuff. Okay. Yeah, I still think it's a bit too early to start modifying your stock to break even as yet. It's only 20 odd pips away. Maybe if you're going to be 25. I think something like 1150, which is a slightly better price. It's a little bit. If you can break below 1120, you can modify your stop to entry. Maybe it's a little bit soon at the moment, so see if we can get some more move down on it. But it has on the daily chart. Oh, it's already been on the daily chart, but that's a pretty idiot, Roger. Let's look at the 1 hour quickly and the 15-minute. Yeah, it's holding below the 15-minute as well on the 15 times 50. So maybe we get some decent movement on this one. Okay, the DXY, by the way, it's last starting to respond. It's back above 107. Bit slow this morning, starting to respond. Remember, I discussed US dollar pairs. I was a little bit nervous because it wasn't getting the move back up as expected. It would start to move, but not as much as I expected. So maybe just keep a little bit quiet on it. But it looks like anyone who went ahead and went for the buying the dollar should have been, I don't have checked them all, but should be looking okay. I was tempted to go for the dollar yen again, but after being stopped out on Friday, I assume most people will say, well, what are you trying to do? Push this down my throat. So I decided against it. Mistake. I should have. 139, I was going to push it again for a 138 stop. And then a TP around about 144, 145. I didn't. Pity, really, because it's up over 100 pips. But anyway, we can relook if the dollar continues to strengthen a bit or get a better price. Anyway, we'll concentrate on the ones we got out. AUD JPY, we got out at 93.20 this morning on the signal. That's 94. So clearly moved the stop loss. I think I sent out on the WhatsApp group to modify the stop, but I think we can modify it a little bit more now. It's doing quite well. 80 pips in profit on that. I think it might even get a bit of a pullback here. I'm not saying jump out of it. I'm just making you aware here. Please understand the language. Don't jump out, make you aware. It might come off, I don't know. Don't go as if, hang on, it's just to jump in and do it sort of blindly. But it might get a bit of noise here. It might move on up, which I hope it clearly does. But if it does pull back, it might pull back maybe 15 pips from profit taking on the round psychological figure of now 94. And before, hopefully, it moves back up again. So you might think of maybe part close. You should all know how to do that. You have to close your entire position. That you should have learned in platform training, or you might want to stick it out, or you might want to close entirely and push it through, open up again. those are your choices. I can't make them for you. I'm just making aware of what you can do. Having said that, if you want, move the stop up. I think 20 pips is going to be, just to get pulled back a bit further, not so much shoots up. Maybe put your stop at 93.70. You'll still have a nice profit. You get stopped out, but it's still far enough away to allow for the noise. But luckily, so far, we're not getting that problem. It seems to be holding above 94. If it does go above 94.15, something like that, just plus minus. A lot of this is a bit of guesstimate, to be honest, guys. Then you can move your stop up a little bit further, maybe 93.90. I hope you understand the principle I'm going, because you've got to learn to be able to do this on your own. You haven't got to wait for Uncle Rog to post or whatever. I'm waiting bated breath, because lots go on here, and I'll do the best I can, but I might miss it. Some other calls. You get the idea. So long as you get the idea of what's involved, the basics of what's involved, I think most of you who trade a bit will know now, is to think in your feet a little bit and not get the stop too close and protect profits. That's the thing. There's nothing worse than being 50 pips up, forgetting to modify your stop, the thing flies off, and now you're in a loss and you're nice in the profit. If you're in a profit, you want to protect it. Sometimes you will get stopped out, 20 pips profit because it pulled back and it shoots on up and you're not on board. But rather that and take a loss on the winner. But that is your choice. I'm just suggesting that. You don't have to do it. This is all suggestion stuff. But it's doing okay. Modify the stop. Do not take a loss. I'm suggesting 93.70 and hope it pushes through. We're already getting a bit of hovering around the round figure level. Okay. Sure you've all learned that by now. Are you with me? Okay. Right. Where we go? So AUD JPY, nice one. CHF's in profit. Gold did very well and it bounced up again. Why? I haven't got a cooking clue. No idea. No idea at all. I'm being honest with you on that. What the hell is bounced back up again? I haven't the slightest clue. Maybe some fear factors crept in because the DXY, as you know, is starting to move up and quite nicely. The yields are starting a little bit less excitement there. At least it's holding slightly up. So in theory, the gold should have hovered around the 755 and start moving down even further, which happened earlier on. So the trade was doing beautifully up till about half an hour ago, inside for what a reason better known to itself, or the world, the variables, the world trading out there, decided to push it up again. Not quite sure why, but you got to stop at 1780. So no need to panic. And if the yields were going shooting down and the DXY was going continuing down, then it makes sense. But they're doing the opposite. So I'm not quite sure that's about, but hold on and hope it gets back into profit again. I'm in there. The weak dollar is not really weak. It's been strengthening a bit short. It's popped up from a 106.40.50 earlier on to 107.20 on. Came back a bit, I grant you, and it's popped back up again. It's above 107. So in comparison, relatively speaking, as strong as it was earlier this morning, and it was 1760-ish this morning. So yeah, so that's a go figure from. That's why we have stops that we're going to protect ourselves. There are times we're going to get what I call go figure situation. So why that's popped up, I do not know. But it's not disaster. It's only a couple of bucks above entry, but it was about 5-6 better earlier on. We'll see how it goes and come back. The other one's NZD CAD. 1890 was the entry from this morning. Just going through it quickly before we go on the share side. We'll discuss the else. We've got another 20 minutes, so no rush on that. It's not much in profit, probably hovering around. We've got to pop back up again. We're doing quite nicely earlier on. In fact, it came off this far. So it was nice, about 30 pips in profit. Now it's popped up to break even. See how it goes. But the JPY should do well, yeah, so we'll continue with that. Oh, that's right, CAD JPY. That still seems, well, last I looked anyway, it seemed to be doing okay. Yeah, that's doing okay. Could do it better. What couldn't? Could always do better. We get that. But at least doing okay. I think the signal sent out at 105. Another one went out at 104 a few days ago. Some people held on to that and doing very nicely. Got another one out, I think it was on Friday, at 105 on the dot. That's clearly 80 pips in profit. Clearly want to protect you. I put out a WhatsApp to advise to modify the stop slightly into profit. But I think if you want, you can modify it a bit further. Maybe 105.40. Don't want to get it too close. Don't get stopped out and then it screams up back to 109. You're not on board. So if it's 105.40, you make 40 pips. It's pretty good. But it's far enough away that we might get some more movement. Okay, so that's what I suggest. No, I don't think so, Card. I think you're chasing a bit here. I don't think so. So that should sell. If it pulls back, yeah, but not very much. It's a bit of resistance now. It might get another pullback. I think it's one of those things. You're on board, great. If you're not, you're joining a little bit late. I'm just going to mute you all because there's a bit of background noise. Now, if you want to chat, please do. Absolutely welcome, as long as it's something to do with what we're talking about in here, obviously. And just let me know and I'll unmute. Okay. And then please, yeah, the horses left the stables, yeah. Let's the stables, see left the track. I think we can get a lot more out of it. So I still see some upside. If it was about 107.50 or something right now, that would definitely off the track, yeah. But anyway, that being as it may, I'm not sure I'd be keen to join it now, Gerard. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so CAD JPY from Friday is good. AD JPY is very good. Pound Swiss franc is doing good, well, goodish. The other one, NZD CAD, is about break even. Gold was doing well, now it's slightly above, but with the dollar up there, I think it might pull back a bit. It's gone up $150 over the last 2-3 days or whatever. I think it's due for a pullback, so I'm not exactly panicking as yet. We had a pending one, NZD JPY, this morning at 85. Don't think it got triggered. We'll check again. Don't think it got triggered. NZD, no, it didn't get triggered. So we missed that. We want to get in at 85, and we put a pending idea up, but it didn't come back and get triggered. Just continued up. So we're not on board that one. That happens with a pending, but I still doing it because you want to get a better price. But anyway, that being as it may, we didn't get on board. So there we are. Okay, so I've covered that fairly quickly, I might add, because we need to go over a few things and get ready for 4:30 and be prepared for it. Okay, right. At some stage down the line, I want to be discussing with 1 or 2 more sophisticated, mathematically understanding traders, people know who they are, about potential buy stops, sell stops, which would come out before a major fundamental comes out. But they've got to understand, not to speak to people who are battling to grasp what leverage is, never mind the more advanced kind of stuff. And the people on there know what I mean. We chatted earlier on, that person, Bob, particularly, where you put a buy above and a sell below the market, and once triggered do it. And that would have been a phenomenal one on the NASDAQ just before Thursday's CPI. If it took off, which it did, the buy would have kicked in. You delete the sell, the buy sell, sorry, the buy stop, the sell stop, and then let the other one run. So we'll discuss that at a later stage because there's some good stuff to be had by that. If we get something before a major fundamental, might be a damn squib, so you just knock both of them off. We'll discuss that at a later stage on the more advanced party. Okay. Right, I've covered the trade ideas, all seem to be okay, except one, which I think will end up okay. So that's pretty good. NAS has been hovering a bit, waiting for the 4:30 opening. Let's look at the 15-minute. Hovering, as I said. So I mentioned the S&P near the 4,000 mark to short it. Bit quiet, but it's still down a bit, but nobody took it, so we won't worry about that for the moment. Okay, so AD not doing well. So look, we didn't do the train idea because we decided to hold 5. AD USD. Some of them might have done it. Popped up a bit, hovering. That's better on the day to get an idea. Yeah, it's popped up a bit, but I don't know. I think it's leave at the moment. The dollar still seems to be starting to get going and seems to change its mind. I expected a lot more upward movement after that massive pullback. I don't think it might. I think there's a lot of reasons fundamentally why it might not get back to the original 112, one above anytime soon. Something drastic comes out from the Fed, but certainly short term, I expect some profit-taking recovery. Some of it, it's good. I mean, it's gone up. Don't get me wrong, but I expected a bit more. If you get my point, okay. So Jart's coming on as well. So therefore, we've covered all that. I have to say, at a fair speed, let's want to cover our morning trades, see they're doing all right, and that we're all happy with them. and not that much. Not a problem. I've just gone through the morning trades. Now that's a bit sudden. I didn't expect it. Oh yes, I did. Yeah, sorry. Thought it wasn't trade. Sorry, the bloody load shedding just kicked in. Okay, I thought it was coming tomorrow. Never mind, it's coming. So be it. Okay, so where was I? Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. So I've covered that fairly quickly. Hope you've caught up with it. We'll come back afterwards because I want to go over the US area now with 50 minutes to go. Now, bottom line is this: the US opens at 4:30 and closes about 11:30. You cannot place trades, you cannot modify, you cannot alter, you can't do anything. The shop is closed. You get my point. So you've got to remember that. So we don't want you calling up saying, somewhere on 5, I can't close my trade. Well, if it's a share, you won't until it opens. Right, I've just quickly opened up my CFD calculator. You can get it on the resources when you go into your LMS and log in. And it's a different calculator to this calculator down here. Right, so we're going to put that up. We'll start off with BA, right? BA was an idea to short. I'm just going to pull in front of me on the other one there, the actual figures involved. Dom needs to, yeah, well, okay, yeah, I think we'll agree on that. Where was I now? I'm just going to pull that up. Just a second. Where is it? Ah, here we are. Just putting up on my WhatsApp on my screen, so remember all the figures here. Come on, it's not coming up. Something give me, come on. Oh, that's better. Just a second, just give me a moment to fiddle around this thing because all these things are getting in the way now. Okay, Boeing 174. Let's get this bit out of the way. 174 from the daily. All right, the reason why it's lower than where it is now, because is the expectation of maybe opening slightly down when we chatted about this morning. Remember, now it's 4 o'clock. We were talking about this at 8:30, 9 this morning, and we're under the understanding that it might be a bit of a pull back on opening. So it's no point working out at 177. We don't know what it's going to open at. So we decided preempted to say if it's 174 is exactly it. Yeah, 174 on the dot. So clearly, if it opens up at 180, use some common sense, guys. That's a bleep. Don't jump in at 180 when it says 174. But if it says 174 and the NAS, I know it's not part of the NAS, it's part of the Dow and the S&P, but the NAS and the three of them, not always, but slightly in tandem, might get a situation where they'll come off a bit and they can go for the trade. The stop loss is at 160. So 170, sorry, it's 180, wrong way around. TP came first, sorry, 180. So that tells you it's $6 a share. Now, I'm going to be quick. I can put the calculator up for you, but just get the concept here. The costs are very minimal. They only become big costs when you've got very, very large accounts. I know for a fact there's not many people who've got very large accounts. It's there, but it's minimal. Rather get the understanding, the difference in the stop and the entry, if you get in as the signal says, $6 means 1.0 is one share or 1.0 volume is going to be a risk of $6. Have you got that? So if you want to risk $9, 1.5, $12, it's 2. All right, you're saying rand, but surely you can multiply 17 by the dollar with a calculator. If you can't, I'm a worried man. That is basic. That is absolutely basic. This is a complicated, not complicated, but it's more complicated than multiplying 17 on your calculator. So I'll do it in dollars and you do the calculation into rand. Do it off the top of my head if you want, but I think you should be able to do it with the calculator. So if you want to do the BA, see how it opens. If it does come off around about the 174, 180 stop, like the signal said, you work out what you're prepared to risk, and it works out about 100 rand or $6 for 1.0. So don't start putting 0.01. You're wasting your time. The volumes are different. Guys can put in 200 on something like Ford, where if you put in 200 on the Forex, then you're Bill Gates. You get the idea. This is what we're trying to teach you on. Okay, so BA we're looking at. Keep an eye on it, and we'll see how it opens. The other one we're looking at is Tesla. Tesla, we think, has got quite a few areas of issues there. Cash issues. He's got to sell stuff to get into Twitter, spread himself a bit thinly. So we think there's a good chance that Tesla might come off on the daily chart. I'm not telling you, no, on the daily chart. What's it telling me there? No, Okay, it's in the sell zone as well below that, guys, as you can see. So we think we might get a bit of a pullback. So we've got a 195 entry, roundabout market. We see you might miss it. We'll discuss it before you jump in on that as the market opens. I'm just preparing you to get the idea that the volumes are going to be different. Okay. And then the SL is 201. So again, it's $6. So it's 100 rand or $6 for 1.0. So I know you're terrified to put one quite rightly on the Forex, but one is not much. It's diddly on the share. There is that difference. Trying to get through the psychological change of the volumes. You get the idea. Okay, like one American dollar is same is $1. You go to Zimbabwe and it's one Zim dollar, but it's a slight difference in value. Hope you get this comparison where I'm getting at. Okay, that's what we're looking at a sell short. The other one's also a short, and this is Baba. That's Alibaba's, the originator of Black Friday, which you all seem to know. And we're looking to get in there right about the market, see how it opens. If we can get a better price, we'll check it out on opening. And this one, we're going to stop loss at 73, which is only $2.50 a share. So if you want to risk, let's say, 1,000 rand, that's about $60. $2.50 a share into 60. What's that? 320. It's about 15, 16 shares. So don't forget, you can put in volumes are much higher. I hope that was fairly clear. I spoke fairly quickly, but I hope you got the general idea. It's a changeover of hats. You're not, you know what I mean? It's don't put in 0.1. It's a different volume stage. Any questions on that before the market opens in a couple of minutes? I went quite quickly. You can use a CFD calculator with pleasure. Yeah, it's I posted on the WhatsApp groups that people are on it or members of a WhatsApp group. You've posted on there. People use who aren't on the WhatsApp group. You can go to resources. You've got the tools. We give them. You've got to prepare to click on them. And then you've shared it. You're a star, Sean. You really are. That's a good point. You shared it. The guys don't have it. So it was posted on all the group WhatsApps. It's posted on the resources. It's been discussed before. And now Sean's come to the party and done it for you. Double click, have it handy there, and you put the figures in. It's that simple. If it's $10 is your entry and $9 is your stop loss, $1 is the difference. It's $1 per 1.0. Surely you can do that. Please. Lot size is different. These are shares. It's not a lot size. A lot size is a contract. It's completely different. This is a share. So if you want to go into a share, I'll do you a quick one before it starts. Very simple. What should we pick one? Let's pick one that's different. Whatever we do. That's fine. Where's one down here? Okay, we'll do GS, right? Goldman Sachs, whatever. Right. Doesn't matter if you buy or sell it. This is $385 a share, and we're going to sell it. I'm going to put the stop here. What is the difference? $12 is the stop. If you put the stop in there, it's $12 away from entry. So one share, excluding the 0.4% costs, 1.0 would be $12 risk. Let's take F plus, which we had the other day. It's still in. It might come off a bit more. I hope it does. We're still on it because we haven't triggered the TP yet. Sorry, the stop loss yet. If you go in there and you put the stop loss out the way up here, that's $1.40. That's a bit wide. Let's put it here. That's 85 cents. So 1.0 is 85 cents. What's that in rand? It's about 14 rand off the top of my head. So you put 1.0, your risk is 14 rand. So that's as simple as that. You know, you bought 100, the share cost is 100, 95 is the stop loss. The difference between the two is 5. So it's 5 times 1.0. I cannot make it any simpler than that. If that math is beyond you, then maybe we should seriously look at getting a maths course or going back to school or something, because it's basic arithmetic. Any questions? If you're still not sure, bung the stuff into your what do you call it? A calculator for yours, your Excel calculator, and then it spells it out for you. I'm trying to get the weight away from this spelling out all the time. You're here to learn how to fish, not just wait for somebody to give you some fish. I'm trying to get people to start thinking on their own feet, if you get my point. Okay, because then you won't be relying on somebody, you'll be in control of your own life. Okay, and that's how you become a millionaire. Millionaires don't wait for somebody to give them money, they get control of themselves. Okay. All clear? Right, just coming up, another 5 minutes to go. Any questions? Please like whoever it was, I forget his name now, just ask now. If you're not sure, I'll run it again. You've got to know this. You've got to know this. We don't have to know it, but strong says you do. Have you got the idea now, Sean? It's not that. It's just a share. CFD is a derivative of a share. The thing is, you buy equity, you got to pay cash. So it's $100 share and you want to buy 10, you got to flash out $1,000. On this, it's 5% margin. So it's all 5%. Remember, I told you, go there, right click, go to specification. It says 5%. What's this one? Yeah, it says 5% margin. There we are, 5% margin. 5 and 100 is 20, 21, 20 to 1 leverage. So if you want to buy $100 cash, go buy equity for $100. Here, it only costs you $5 to get control of $100, and the balance is lent to you by the market maker, and that the swap fees that is basically the interest charged on lending you the money, like anyone lends you money. Okay, you want to show the calculator. If you can't get the basic maths, I'll show you the calculator with pleasure. Okay, but this is a complicated business. If this is beyond, one has to start asking myself some questions. Right, we're going to do this one here. What are we going to look with share price in? Where is it now? We'll start off with Boeing, eh? 174 is the entry price. Take profit is where is it now? 160. And the TP is 180. So there it is. Clearly, what does that tell you? I'll put the thing in. 180. There we are. I don't know. This thing's giving me a trouble now. Don't know why that is. Stop loss is what I was short. This thing can say long now. God, now I'll knock it off and try again. But to say it's that simple, this is 2-year-old mathematics. So you don't have to panic. If you can't do 2-year-old mathematics, you might battle the derivative. Trying to get that through to people. Just going to put it out and I'll share the screen. Just give me a second. We've got it sorted here. I might hand the share to Jack. He might do it. Just try and get this thing going. The thing won't respond. Not quite sure why. Don't know why. Jack, do you want to share the screen? Because I can't seem to put the thing in. It's not happening. I'm trying to put in the stop loss. It's not happening. But I mean, this is the trading room. This is not, you know. This is not, you know, it's not for 2-year-olds. This. Where are we? Share the screen. 2-year-olds can't do it. They shouldn't be doing this anyway. Right, share the screen. Right, there it is. I can't put the stop loss in. For some reason, I must be missing something. I'll unmute if you want to speak. There's the thing again. Give me a second. Okay, if you want to take over, Jack, and have a chat on it, just put the chat line up again. I'll make you host. Okay, where are we? Make you host. Stop the share, okay? Make you host. Where's Jack now?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sorry, guys.
Can't find it here. Oh, there we are.
I think you mixed up take profit and stop loss.
I put the take profit at 160. We're going short. I'm trying to put the stop loss in at 180, and I can't. So maybe it's stuck on the long. So you try.
Roger.
Go for it.
Okay, what trade are we going to look at?
We'll look at BA. I'll call it out to you. Entry price 174. You'll have to change the quantity for me. That's not going to work. Never mind. Make it 1, so it's per share. Or 5.
174.
170. Entry is 174. 160 is the take profit. And stop loss, you can make it, forgotten now, 180, that's right. Hang on, stop
That's
loss.
fine.
Stop loss 180, yeah, 180. Yeah. I couldn't get mine in, there we are.
And for
Okay.
these
You can,
85 quantities,
okay.
That's
So,
5.0, yeah.
okay, guys, can I intervene here quickly? It's very, very important what we're doing here now. So if you want to go for this open position, the quantities are going to play a huge role in your trader's account. Why? Because to pay this margin for 5 shares in this specific company, you need to pay about $43.50. That accumulates to almost 750 Rand margin requirement. So 750 Rand will be taken out of your account as a margin to obtain 5 shares. If you do have it in your account, you can do it. But before you do it, just wait quickly. So remember, I've got 2,000 Rand in my trader's account. 750 Rand will be taken as margin. When I close this position, my 750 Rand will come back to my account. Is it clear to everybody? That is how our margin works. It will be taken out. It's like a deposit, a key deposit. When you book out, they will give back your key deposit. Is it clear to everybody? Just give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Now, here comes the biggest question to everybody. I've got 5 shares here. I'm going to pay 750 Rand a deposit. Assume I've got 2,500 Rand in my account. Okay, but here's the big question. My entry level is 174. My take profit level is 160. Stop loss is $180. Looking at this numbers, if I'm going to buy 5 shares at an entry price of 174 and my risk is 180, that means I'm going to take a $30 risk plus $3.54. The accumulation of that comes to a total of $33.50. That is the actual loss that I'm willing to take. So now you need to do the following. So
Yeah.
33.50 times 1720. That's about a 576 Rand loss. Here's the big question. Are you willing to take a 576 Rand loss? That you need to ask yourself, not me, not Roger, not Clinton, not Ashley. You need to ask yourself, are you willing to take that loss of 576 Rand? That's where all the emotions comes in. That is where all the fear comes in. If you're not happy about 576 Rand, rather reduce your quantities. Let's go to 3 shares. So if I'm going to get 3 shares, say again. Say again. So look at this. 3 shares. I'm going to take an $18 plus a $2 loss. So the total loss is 2012 times 1720. That's the current ratio. So that is 346 Rand. So ask yourself the question. If I'm going to get 3 shares in this company, and am I willing to take a 346 Rand loss? Am I comfortable? Am I comfortable? Yes, it's better than $560. Then you keep your 3 shares. Now, how much will I pay as a deposit? Sunday, I'm going to pay a $26 deposit. So it's 26 times 17.20. So I'm going to pay 447 Rand a margin. I will get it back. My risk is about 360 Rand. Okay, now look at the profit. The profit is $40. So it's $40 times 17.2. That is almost 700 Rand. So listen to this. My total investment is what? 420 Rand. My risk is $20. So that's 360 Rand. My reward is 700 Rand. So here you need to ask yourself, I'm going to put down 360 Rand to make 700 Rand. Is it good or bad? But you need to ask yourself, am I willing to take that loss of $560? That's what you need to ask yourself. Not me, not Roger, not Clinton, not Ashley. We can deal with emotions. The question is, can you deal with emotions? Did you learn something? Give me a thumbs up if you've learned something. That is how you use this calculator. That is how you determine quantities. On risk management. is important. Roger, you can take over again.
Okay, can you do that? Hand it back or whatever.
Jacques, I just sent you a WhatsApp quickly. If you can look at it, please.
Okay, all right, share the screen. Just give me a second. There we are. Thank you, by the way. Where are we now? Share the screen. Got the NASDAQ up there. Just a second while I get the stuff up and running again with the participants. Got quite a few, good. And then chat. Where's the chat? Here we are. Back in. Okay, you got it. Okay. Now, I want to add on that. It's quite important. This primarily is actually for the CFD classes. As mentioned, this is not a training room, it's a trading room. And as assumed that it's coming off class, it's assumed you can do such basic stuff from the CFDs and from the Forex. Okay, so this is a trading room when you've got that under your belt. But never mind, it's been reinforced. But don't overcomplicate it, it's not that complicated. Just remember the volumes are different on shares. So I'll do the shares now because the market seems to be coming off about bloody time. Where are we? Start off the BA. It's not moved much, surprisingly. So 174 is the entry. So don't touch it now. We thought it might come off, at least I did anyway. Not seen it happen. $3. So we'll wait for that and see if we get a better price. I'm not sure I'm agreeing on the pending order on this. If funny things might happen. So just hang 5 on that. It might change over the next hour or so. What are we going to go for now? Was, oh yes, Tesla. I'm going to do Tesla. There's maybe a chance on that one. What was the Tesla one again? Just a second. Just go back to my WhatsApp. Get the figures again. Excuse me a second. Tesla. Yeah, 195. I still think that's good. The NAS is coming off. Let's go back to the NAS to make sure. I know it talks about car company, but it was part of Stall 3 really. But basically, it's made up of the NASDAQ as well. Okay, it seems to be coming off. You can hold below that. Jumping around a bit. Just give me a second. Was I quickly checked? Sorry, I just want to check the other aspects. DXY is above 107 holding. I'm trying to check the yield here. Yields come off a little bit, but still it's okay, I suppose. So if you want to do Tesla, I do see some downside, and it's at the recommended signal price. So basically, you've got the figures there. Check your MT5, it should be on there. Check your WhatsApp group or whatever, but I'll put the stuff on for you in the meantime. Let's put that in daily, make it a bit easier. Where was the stop again? Give me a moment. There's these guys in here quickly. Right. Where the hell is it now? Tesla seems to have gone missing now. Where was it? Ah, here we are. Right, the stop was at 180, so I put 180 in. What? That's a TP, sorry. The stop is 201. The wrong way around. I'm used to stop coming first, beg your pardon. 201. About there. The wrong thing there. 201. Yeah, about there. And the TP on Tesla is 180. There we are, round about there, 180. So if you want to do Tesla, it's quite simple. Your risk per share is going to be, if you go in at market with $200 as that, not quite 200, let's go down a bit, get it more accurate for you. Oh, God. Round about there. Actually, I'll do that because it creates the costs up even easier. Okay, so right, so you go in at market. That will be a $6.75 as that's wrong now. Lucky thing. Stay as you are. That'll do. That's right. 15 above, don't worry about it. It's just going to add the costs in now. What's happened? Right. Right, where are we now? 75, 200, doesn't make sense. This thing keeps moving, doesn't it? 195 to 200 is $5. I don't know why I'm saying that. Don't know why I'm saying that. Anyway, take from me, it's $5 just about. Call it 5, just cover costs, make it $5.20 per share. So what's that? Just call it around 100 Rand for those in rands, 100 Rand a share. So your order is 300 Rand, it's 3.0. If you order a 350, it's 3.5. Your order is 400, it's 4. Do you get the idea for the position size if you want to do it? And it's all on the, I'll put it on for the chat line for you to make it a bit easier. 195 entry, one, is it? 200, SL 200.
Roger, just wait 1 second, guys. We're just checking if the data coming through. Some of the US stocks are coming through, and there's others not coming through. So just give it a few minutes on the data, please. I see it's coming through slowly.
Okay.
I see Baba's moving.
Okay, well, that's spotted. Well spotted. Thank you. Baba's moving. Okay. Now, because I seem to have difficulty in this position, so maybe it's a changeover mindset, used to putting 0.02 or something. Try and get a fact if one is normally very small in shares. Not always, nothing's always, it's normally very small. So you should be looking at 2, 3, 10, 15, 20, 50. Don't be scared to put that in. So we've done that. I've put the tester up for you. Baba, right, we've got Baba here. Let's have a look now. Baba here is 70.50. That's fine. You get at market. I've printed on there. Baba, just for everyone. BABA. Don't forget the dot, guys. Entry around, not exactly around 70.5. It's more or less there at the moment. SL 73.0 will do. Don't have to put in 0.0. TP. This thing's getting in the way now. About 5 screens here. 65.50. 65.50. Then risk plus minus is, let's take one way from the other. 70 has $2.50. So that's $2.50 per 1.0. Or you can do it, you can split it if you want, 1.5 or 10.5 if you want. You get the idea. $2.50 is what, about 34 and 70, about $50. So or 50 per 0.01, whichever currency you're in. There you are. Should be able to practice, get that exchange rate on the top of your head. A little bit of practice. I'm so used to 0.01 myself. Done it, beg your pardon, guys. Just shows habit, eh? Per 1.0, not 0.01. Sorry about that. There we are. So if you want, yeah, well, let's just stick, Clinton, let's just stick one because we've got to get these guys to understand the math differential. Okay, so where was I? Yeah. So you want to do Baba as a short. I do like it. Then you can go in and work out your position size accordingly. $50. Remember, like we did, 0.01 is 80 Rand a micro. This is 50 Rand per 1.0 or $2 for 1.0. Have you all got that now? It's all clear? Right, so that's the Baba. I've got the Tesla up there for you to look at. I think I put the BA on. We can't do BA now. We want to come off of that unless it's stuck. 22, that's stuck. That is stuck. BA is stuck. Must have moved in the last 15 minutes. Good think of that time. I forgot to look at that. So busy other stuff. That's my excuse. We got 3, 4 out. So we got 1, 2, 3. Baba, Tesla. No, just the Baba. To do. Is there any others? No, just there's 3 of them all together. We can't do BA as yet because it seems to be stuck. So ignore the BA and concentrate on the other 2. I want to clarify that as well. Again, this should be done in platform training, CFD classes and the other classes. But thanks, Sean, anyway. Just to reiterate, you must have free margin. If you got, let's say, 100 units for one, you can't put 95 or 90 on the market. You've only got 10 units free margin. Any up and down movement of the noise of the market can knock you out in a margin call. You've got to have free margin because remember, the margin deposit is collateral. You're putting down a deposit. The company is lending you the difference. And if you take away the collateral, they're going to pull back that product. Have you heard the guys say, we're going to close the loan and pull it in because you're not keeping up with your payments? Same principle. So make sure you've got that enough free margin to overcome the ups and downs of the movement of the specific instrument that you're in. Hope that's clear. Remember, that's important to understand. If going off quotes, it means you've got a problem with the system and you've got to reboot it or go to like tech support. Basically means it's not being updated. Thanks, King. That's better way of putting it. I like it. Yeah, it's not being updated. This is not being updated on the BA here, as you can see. So I don't know why that is. I'm going to go back to test it. Is there any movements? Because that's very volatile. Okay, we've got a problem, guys. You shouldn't have been able to. It's gone off quote. So I don't know if Jack is still there, Jack.
Yes, I'm busy with it. I'm busy with it.
He's busy with it. Jack is the manager. He deals with that side of it, and yeah, and he taught these tech guys all they know when it comes to tech stuff. So he's the guy. Okay, we're gonna have to look at Forex because that's gone offline. But before I do it, guys, have you got the understanding now that the volumes are completely different in shares? It's very important to get the idea about it because it adds another string to your bow. It gives you extra another string to your bow. You all know what that means. Gives you extra areas to make use of. You know. Yeah, sorry, Adela. Jobs, he's on it at the moment. It's stuck. Okay, not much you can do about that. It's a pity because it looks like it's moving off last I looked. So I think we're missing out here, but that happens. Okay, nothing I can do about that. Okay, right. So yeah, before we go to Forex, look at the other stuff. Melissa, glad to have you here. The next, it's every day. Every day, you go to the portal and you go down. Where is it now on the portal? Somewhere down there. Play with the portal. You'll find the times. It's 9:30 till 11. Anyway, it's 4 to 5:30 every day, except Friday afternoon and the weekend. But please, this is for people. It's for trading. I don't want people come in and say what's margin, what's leverage. That's I can develop it. If you've just learned a bit about it and want to develop it, if you've never heard of it, then you need to know the basics. This is not for teaching. This is for guys who have some idea what's happening, want to strategize and improve the trades. This is the stage where they've done the school, they want to start earning money. I can't keep those guys back. So we're teaching those guys who bought the course and haven't gone to the classes. Sorry to be harsh or strict on it, but it's vital because you didn't do it, holds the other guys up. So you've got to get those basic understanding, and we'll clarify here. Okay, that's very important. But we want you here, but you must understand you don't go to university study maths. You don't know 10 and 10 is 20. That's what you learn before you get to university, okay? Right, so basics to understand. So you now know when you're dealing with shares, the volumes are different. When you go in the trading, you're still not sure, just post. What's that volume again? I'll put it down there. I'll say, what do you want to risk? I want to risk 500. Then you need to put in 15 shares or 12 or whatever the amount is, okay? The schedule's there, factual. Okay. But again, it's on the portal. Go to the portal. I forget where it is in this portal. I'll tell you now, actually. Clear it all up. It's all there. The account manager's on the portal. Where's the damn portal now? Here. The account manager's on the portal. The trading experience. Go to trading experience on the portal. You'll have all the details there on the trading room and Zoom or whatever. IB's on there. You name it. The portal is designed at great cost to the company to help you to find these areas, like contacting the account manager, opening a new account, all that. If you're not sure how to open accounts and you get stuck with it, then you contact your account manager. I am on the trading side, not the account manager. They are the intermediary. When you do financial advice intermediary services, intermediary they are. Advisory, you've got to be registered with the FSCA so you can give advice. For advice or anything like that, these guys will send them to myself and I'll give you advice. This differential needs to be clarified. Okay.
Roger, what is that sound going off?
That's my, God, I'm having a problem. That's my inverter's been giving me problems lately. It sounds, thanks, I'm so busy concentrating. It might click out and then it might be a situation I'm offline. I don't know why that's happening. It used to last for 20 hours. Now it's clicked out and now it's not lasting more than an hour. I was going to discuss that with you tomorrow, but I wasn't expecting load shedding today, so it wasn't a problem. But
I've got a
if-
different, I've got a UPH for you. Just tell me when you're ready so I can deliver it. Please. Please, I need you to have a UPH. Guys, I've just I'm just going to check if there's any updates coming through. I did put a ticket down for the company in America that's supplying our data. Just bear with us if you don't mind. Is there any questions in regards to the calculator, how to use the calculator? Must I do it again? Must I show you how to use the calculator again, traders? So Roger, just stop your share while we're waiting for this data to appear. Okay, let me show you the calculator again. Okay. I'm just waiting for this. Okay, let me share this. Okay. When you trade, this calculator is what we call a USD CFD calculator. So it's US or ZAR, but we don't trade with ZAR companies on the JSE anymore. So this calculator has been built for clients using who wants to trade US stocks. So as you can see, I'm going to point this to you. Everybody's seeing the screen. Clinton, you can see the calculator, am I right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what you see here is what we call quantities. That's how many shares you want to buy. Now, the nice thing about US stocks or US CFDs, you can buy a fractional from it as well. So normally, a client could have just buy one share. You don't need to worry about one share anymore. You can go and buy a fractional. So what's a fractional? A fractional is like this, 0.01. That's a fractional. Okay, 0.01. A fractional of something. So when we look at this calculator, I will always put in the default of 5. Why? Because when I put in the entry level, the take profit level, and the stop loss level, my objective, or my first objective, is to actually get this 1-to-2 ratio. Do you see this 1-to-2 ratio, traders? This 1-to-2 ratio is a critical point for me. Why? Let me explain to you. I am willing to take 100 Rand risk, and I'm willing to make 100 Rand profit. How many times will the risk go into my profit? 100 goes in 100, how many times? Once. Now, that's a 50-50. That means I can go to the casino, play a roulette, and I can either say it's going to fall on black or red. That's a 50-50. When I trade, I don't want to trade with a 50-50. I always want to trade with a 1-to-2 ratio, meaning my risk is 100, my reward is 200. The risk will go into 200 times how many times? 100 goes into 200 how many times? Twice. That's a 1-to-2 ratio. Yes, you can get a 1-to-3 ratio and a 1-to-4 ratio, meaning 100 Rand goes in 300 how many times? 3 times. But in this type of market that is quite volatile, you will not see a 1-to-3 ratio. Okay, so if I go and I enter my entry level, my take profit level, my stop loss level with my quantity of default of 5 that I always use, you can use something different, your selection. I'm always want to look for the 1-to-2 ratio. If I see that 1-to-2 ratio or very close to a 1-to-2 ratio, I am comfortable. So that's that 50% here. That's that 50% here. 50% of close to a 1-to-2 ratio. Okay, so that's my first thing. So we gave you a level of 174. We gave you a level of 160. We gave you a level of 180. That's a given. Okay. Now you need to go and determine what's your risk. That's the first thing you need to go and determine. What is your risk? What are you comfortable to lose? So if I go to a casino, what will guys do? They will take 200 Rand, and that's the only amount they're willing to take a loss on. But that's a lie. Because when they go to the casino and they put 200 Rand down and they lose it, what do? They walk out of the casino. Just when they exit the door at the casino, guess what's on the right side? ATM. So what are you going to do? Let me draw money again and go back. Maybe my odds are better this time. Always look where's the ATM on the right side of the casino. It's a mentally thing. Okay, now look at this. Plan your trade now. 174 entry, take profit 160, 180. So what type of trade am I doing here? A short trade. Simple as that. Okay. 1 to 2. So $33 goes in $66. How many times? Twice. 1 to 2 ratio. $33. Now I've got $33 there. So the first thing you need to do is determine where the rand and dollar is standing at now. So if you look at the rand and dollar, here's the rand and dollar. It's sitting at 17.31. Do you see it? 17.31. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to say $33 times 17.30. That is a risk of 570 rand. 570 rand. That is what I'm going to lose if I'm going to get 5 shares. Please ask yourself, this is your money. Ask yourself, how much are you willing to lose? Ask it to yourself. Are you comfortable to lose 570 bucks? That's cost included, your broker's fee. So in actual fact, $30 is the actual loss, and your cost is $3.54. There's a broker's fee. Broker's fee in is 174, and broker's fee out, if it is your stop loss, is 180. 174 in, 180. So you're going to pay $3.54 as a broker's fee. So your total is $33.54. That comes to amount of 570 bucks. Are you willing to lose it? Nah, that's a lot of money. Do you know what you do? Reduce your number of shares. Now look at this now. How much I'm going to lose here? It's 18 rand. My broker's fee is $1 in and almost $1 out. So that's 212. So my total here is 2012. So it's 17.30 times 20.12. That is 348 rand. On 5 shares, you could have lost 570. Now you're going to lose 300 and let's make it a round number, 350 rand. How do you feel? Okay, I'm feeling comfortable. 350, I can live with it. Do you know what I'm doing here? If you determine you're going to lose 350 rand, you don't need to go and look at your trade every 5 minutes and see what it's doing. Because what are you doing now? You're setting up, that's my stop loss level. That's what I'm going to lose if this trade goes against me. I don't need to sit in front of my laptop the whole day. I still need to go and work. I've got other things to do to support my lifestyle. Does it make sense what I'm saying here? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. You don't need to sit in front of your laptop the whole day. That's why I created this calculator. Sorry, my family is getting back. Just give me a second. Totally unexpected. My office door was not closed. So what happens now? I can put my laptop down. I can go on with work. I can go in a meeting. I don't need to have my platform open the whole time and see how it fluctuates. I am in to lose 350 bucks. Done deal. If you're comfortable with that, then you're going to go to the next option. You're going to say, okay, 40 times 17.30. So what's the profitability I can make there? 692 rand. My risk is 350. My reward is almost 700 bucks. 350 goes in 700, 1 to 2. So I'm comfortable about 350. I know what my profit is going to be. The only thing I don't know is how long it will take. That's the only thing you don't know. Okay. 350 is my risk. 700 is my profitability. How much did I pay to invest in this share? Okay, 3 shares on a 5% margin will cost me $26.10. $26.10. $26.10 times 17.30. So the initial investment to get 3 shares is 450 bucks. I need to pay a deposit of 450 Rand that will go out of my account as a deposit. So what does it mean? I've got 1,000 Rand in my trader's account. 451 Rand will be taken out as a deposit. If I close this position, my deposit comes back. Is it clear? This deposit will always come back. But my initial investment, listen to this, is 450 Rand that I'm going to invest. That's my margin. How much profit will I make? Almost 700 Rand. You are actually making a 450 Rand investment to make 700 Rand. Is that a good or bad investment? I'm asking you. It's a brilliant investment. The only thing you don't know is how long it will take. It could be an hour, could be 5 hours, it could be 2 days, it could be 3 days. It depends on the market conditions and volatility. So what I want you to do is, if we're going to send out US CFDs as trade signals to you, we're going to send it a bit earlier, before the market opens at 4:50. Why? I want you to go through this process to understand the steps that you need to follow to feel comfortable as to get a trade signal, and you jump around, you don't know what to do, and you panic and you press the wrong buttons. So I had a chat with Roger this morning and Friday, and I said my objective is to send at least one decent USCFD trade out every day. A decent one. There's about 155 that's available for us to trade. There's about 2,000 available on the market. But I do not just want to send one out to keep you all happy. We want to send a decent one out, get into it, and stick with it. Any questions? Everybody happy? I'm going to allow you to unmute yourself, because this is critical stuff. It even works with your position size calculator. You will not believe it. About 6-7 years ago, I was sitting on the MT5 and I was looking for a calculator that is live for indices and commodities and forex. And I found that calculator. I didn't write it. Somebody else, a developer, did it. And the nice thing is he did it for MT5. And what's so cool about it, let me show you. I'm going to share my screen. What's so nice about it is, here's the position size calculator. Okay, not Tesla. Let's go to the Dow Jones. If I open that position size calculator and I say, okay, there's your entry level. You can say penning levels. You can say now. You need to understand this calculator. Oh, that's my entry. That's my stop loss. That's my take profit. Now let's go and do this one quickly. Entry here, stop loss. I'm going to make 33,450. I'm going to do a long trade. And my target is 3,4,200. So look at this. If I'm going to enter here, just when I have this animation ready, if I'm going to enter at this level here, that's my stop loss and that's my take profit. Do you see my risk and reward here? It's 1.25%. That is actually a casino trade. That is going like a slot machine. Put 100 Rand in, you win 3, you lose 8. You win 3, you lose 8. And before you open your eyes, your cash is empty, your credits. And then you put another 100 Rand in. We don't want to trade like that. So look at this. I need to do an adjustment on this. I'm going to make it 3,4,600. It's too high. So look at my ratio here, the risk reward ratio here. 3,400. That's 1.85. What does it mean? It means if I'm going to go for this trade on a lot size of 0.01, what's my risk? 575. What's my reward? 1,000 Rand. That's just an example now. That is why when we send out trade signals, we will have this year 0.01, that's your risk reward. 0.02, risk reward. 0.3, risk reward. 0.4, risk reward. Sorry, is Roger on? Is Roger not on? Is there any questions? Is there any questions? I actually took over. I forgot to organize the Uber for my boys at the gym. He's waiting there already for 20 minutes. So ask your questions. Just bear with me. I need to send the Uber. He's going to kill me. Anything, guys, ask me. Roger is not going to be cross with you. I'm still waiting for the response from DXFeed. I see there's some shares still getting data. Give me a second here. No questions. Did you learn something? Just say yes, it will be cool. Because these things are basic things. And we will do it on Saturdays in the classes as well. Okay, then if there's no questions, let me just go and have a chat with the guys overseas. I need to phone them and see why we're not getting this data. I see that data is coming through slowly now, unit by unit. Give me a second here. Maybe I can just give you an update. Okay, yeah, they came back. Okay, guys, I need to chat. I'm busy chatting with the guys overseas quickly. Let me see what I can do to overcome this problem. And we will give you feedback soon. Is it clear? We will give you feedback soon. Then we're going to end the session, if you don't mind. So I can get the data ready. And I think Roger has got issues with his UPS and that I also need to sort out. Guys, thank you for the time. Sorry for the inconvenience. It's going to be sorted out now.